No regrets. No regrets. I said what I said. Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is your Couch Rider Raven. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours. Then, what's up? Kam Ru's on time, y'all. He is here. He is in the building. He's behind stage, peeking in, peeking out. We see you. Come on out. So let's say what's up to those people in the room. Lisa is here already, and I'm pretty sure she's down to business. She said, "Hey, Jermaine and friends, I went to the doctor, and she was happy with how my stomach is doing." Hey, won't he do it? Won't he do it? That is fantastic. That's great news to hear. We are so excited for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the legend, martial artist, rapper, actor, probably producer right now, Kam Ru. Hey, man, what's good? He said, give him a minute. He said, give him a minute. He is on the phone. We're going to take him off stage so he can do his thing. All right. We'll get back to Kam Ru shortly. Lisa also said, if you don't tap that doggone like button, you're going to regret it later. She said she's coming for you. I'm kidding. But please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. Delicious is in the building. We're going to get right to it, folks. We ain't even finna mess around today. We got of course, we want to make sure we take care of that. Subscribe, like, smack bell. We talked about that already. Hit that point. The next thing is our moment of controversy. So I was thinking about this, and I was like, oh, man. You know, we could talk about Sprite versus Starry, or we could talk about we could talk about, of course, there's always the one that's been being discussed as of late, and I'll bring it up just in a second here. Did I get that one? I did. All right. So of course we could bring up, Kool-Aid over Crystal Light, or we could bring up, the one that's going on continually within. Oops, not that. We could constantly talk about the one that's continually going on with Baltimore is Isaac Likely or Mandrews, who's TE1. It could be the topic of discussion, but it's just nah. Today we went into a little bit more serious. Sort of, kind of. Today's moment of controversy is, drum roll, is it okay to watch a television show behind your significant other's back? And is it equal to cheating? I want to know your thoughts on that. Is watching a show behind your significant other's back as bad as cheating? That is today's moment of controversy. Sure, there's a good show on. You might be watching, The Real Housewives of LA or something along those lines. You might be watching a show like Vampire Diaries. I'm going really far back, but I'm just saying, you and your spouse have figured out a show that you finally can sit down and enjoy together, and life gets in the way. Sometimes kids be cutting up. Kids gonna be kids. They gonna kid. Sometimes the job be jobbing, which causes you to either work overtime or bring work home, or maybe you got chores you got to do. You got a house project going on. Your wife may want to go out with the girls. You may want to go out with the guys, whatever, which leaves you in front of the tube looking for something to watch sometimes. Where do you stand on this stance here? If you decide to go ahead and pull out that remote, slide over there to Netflix and chill by yourself watching your show, watching both of your shows, because nothing else was more interesting on, and you went on to the next episode and maybe the next 10. All right, here you go. Delicious said, no, it's not okay. I'm 2 weeks behind on Power because my girl's taking forever to watch it. See? You sitting there, you like, man, I should go ahead and speed up. But you love your girl. And you like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wait on her. Because she means a lot to me, and this means a lot for us to watch this together so we can catch up. But you behind on Power, and people at your job is probably wanting to talk about Power with you. But your significant other is behind on the episodes, and she's getting busy. The temptation is there, brother. I can see it in your soul. You want to watch that episode. You have to watch that episode. You can't even show up at work tomorrow because of the fact that you are 2 weeks behind, brother. Do you feel that temptation? I know you do, because I've done it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got a confession to make. I'm going to do it right here. My wife, she sent me these videos and said, hey, don't watch them until I get there. She was out of town for like a couple of weeks. She sent Gossip Girl. And I was like, man, I ain't even finna watch this Gossip Girl stuff, whatever. Next thing you know, I see Blake Lively. I'm like, whew. And homegirl, look, shorty right there is a 10. I'm watching Gossip Girl by myself 3 seasons in before the plane even lands. My wife is pissed. She don't want to watch an episode. I told her, I was like, we can go back. We can go back. 3 seasons in. Oh, the betrayal is real. Oh, she was so pissed. Don't do it, folks, because there's that sudden, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it in your soul like you have completely wronged your significant other. It's going to feel like cheating when you watch them shows behind your spouse's back. Now, they're going to try to find a way to condone it. They're going to try to find a way to say, you know what, I can't go to work. Why did everybody else talking about Walking Dead? And I wanted to watch Walking Dead and talk about it with them. But somebody over here got these kids and these chores and this job and this schoolwork and everything else, and I wanted to watch the show. What about me? All right, so let's just hear a little bit more on here. So Delicious says, I don't want skippity paps. Yeah, so you don't want to get the skippity paps from the spouse. That is important. Yes. The relationship within your home is very key, and so you shouldn't watch those shows ahead of time, even if the temptation is there and Blake Lively is a 10. And so I still feel bad, but at the same time, was she really gonna actually sit down and watch that show with me, or were we gonna just get busy and never get to watch the show? We'll never know. And all I know is, look, I got to watch the whole series by myself. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, moving on. All right. So thanks for tuning in, y'all. So we talked about our moment of controversy, and we're gonna move forward here into tonight's show. Why not Starks? That's kind of what this is all about. Why are we not messing around with Malachi? Or at least in my mind, why I think that we shouldn't. And I tried my best to justify this. I really did. And there on one side, I'm like, yeah, I got full justification. And then on another side, the second I turn on the tape of Malachi Starks, I'm like, this is undeniable. This is one of those guys, like, if he is on the clock and a couple of other players that I have on my plate here, if they are not there, then we got to go Malachi. And I know I said yesterday, and it's short, and I was just like, we don't need him. But I think we need him. We need him. I'm sorry. I know I broke. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And y'all probably thinking like, why? I'm like, this guy is the second coming of Kyle Hamilton. Explosive ball tracking, He can play in the slot. He can play back. This dude can do it all. Exceptional ball tracking skills. He's great in slot coverage. He's got good instincts. He's extremely athletic. He's a willing tackler. I love him. I absolutely love Malachi Starks. I have to continue to watch tape, and I'm like, this guy's consistent. Oh, he owned it. Oh yeah, he can play in the slot. Even though what we need, and this is part of my justification, was an outside corner. We need an outside corner. And of course, when you go and look at the Ravens depth chart, you can see things that are missing. Hang on, let me pay some bills right quick. I see a few comments here. Oh, Gerald was good. AJ's in the building. What's up, man? Long time. Dude, are you back to doing shows? And what are you up to these days, man? I don't even know. I'm cheating today because I just felt like having soda. All right. So, AJ, go ahead and hit that like button for me, man. I can tell you hit it from Facebook. Anyway, so back to Malachi. The reason why I'm saying we shouldn't go with Starks is because if you take a look at the Ravens depth chart, we got some issues, folks. We have no tackle depth. I mean, behind Rosengarten and Stanley, Stanley's ankle does not have perfect attendance. Let's just be clear about that. Does not have perfect attendance. When Stanley is healthy, Stanley is that dude. And he proved last year that he could stay healthy most of the season. Roger Rosengarten, love the guy. We got a right tackle. I'm excited about that. But who is the depth behind these guys? Do we have any depth behind our tackles? We don't. That is probably one of the top needs right there. We could use this guy as a swing tackle, and then life after Ronnie. I know Ronnie's on extension, but life after Ronnie, we have somebody who's groomed and big and ready to be there. Of course, then you go looking at our outside linebacking core. Look at the edge. You got Kyle Van Noy. You got Adafe Owe. That's it. You got anybody you trust? Anybody else you trust to make a play? Adisa Isaac? I don't know. I'm not sure. Jury's still out. I don't know yet. So I'm saying if we do anything, we should go outside linebacker. Secondly, do y'all trust the corner that we just brought in? Y'all do remember this is a former Cincinnati Bengal, and y'all knew what we did to that defense back in the day and continue to do to that defense. And Shinobi was part of that. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I got to call a spade a spade. We brought in a corner who has experience, but this does not solve the problem of the outside corner issue that we have. This is lipstick on a pig, folks. This is lipstick on a pig. What are your thoughts? Oh, sorry. Go back to AJ. AJ said, definitely itching to get back in. Still doing it part-time. All right, man. Where at? You got to let us know. We'll come support. And Gerald says, what position does he play? He plays safety. You're talking about Malachi Starks. He plays safety, right? But he can actually come down in the box. Some say he has inconsistent tackling against the run. From what I could see, he was a willing tackler and wasn't scared. That's what you need. That's exactly what you need. But watching him, he was significantly better when it came to down the field tracking the ball. He just knew where to be, how to position himself, and ways to get in that area, make some acrobatic, crazy interception or pass deflection. It was special. Everything on Malachi Stark's tape was absolutely special. And I'm like, dude, I'm sitting here trying to argue against why we don't need this guy, but I'm looking at all these other positions of need, and they're there, they're clear. We need to get players that are going to help this season. Malachi Starks could come in and make this defense make him a solid. I say make him even better. but there will be a gaping hole on the outside if we don't get somebody who can come in now and start. Chidobe Awuzie is a Band-Aid. We need somebody that can start and try to take over those reps now. It would be great to have that security on the outside, feeling confident that you got depth with Awuzie, but you also have this guy who could come in midseason and take over those reps as the starter if he shows up in camp. All right, Delicious says, I love Starks, but I don't know if paying Oway 20 M's, yes, there it is the move, or not knowing KVM is also on his last year of the deal. We desperately need edge help. There it is. Both of these guys are up for contracts next year. Not one, but two of our starters on the edge are up for contracts. KBN, long in the tooth. Oway, if he shows out this year, we got a major problem. And you know he's got the speed to do it. He can get around that edge. Yes, it wasn't the flashiest thing last year, but the dude was consistent and he got there double-digit sacks. What we need is some type of insurance to say, hey, Oway, we appreciate you, but here's the contract number we're going to give you because, we got this other insurance policy over here. Maybe a James Pierce. That would be lovely if he slid all the way down to 27. Maybe we have a Jalen Walker out of Georgia. Maybe we get another Georgia boy, Michael Williams or Michael Williams. Oh, you know spelling. And then, of course, there's a lot of people whose name I cannot say because them names is off the charts. But we'll get into that in just a second here. There's a lot of people we cannot pronounce, and I'm pretty sure those draft announcers are going to have major problems when it comes to announcing these selections this year. These boys got talent, but their names, goodness. All right, Delicious says, I could be wrong, but I have faith in TJ Tampa. Might be rough at the beginning, but I think he'll make progress. I think it's going to be too late to make progress for the draft. You know what I mean? Like, if we was going to see any type of some type of spark, we needed to see it last year to make sure that corner was not on our mind when we went into this draft. We do not have a solid number 2 corner. We have a solid slot who's also getting old. He just got married. Like I said yesterday, you get married, you slow down. I'm kidding, but he is getting older. And he's not going to be around forever. We need corners for the future, but we also need corners that help this year. Y'all see what I'm saying? It's got to have the combination of what can you do for this team this year to help secure this Super Bowl? And also, how can you help us build for the future? That's what type of pick we need. Because we're going to have expensive players that are going to be on those second-time deals or that big-time contract that they're looking for. And we need that insurance policy just in case they happen to walk to another team or get traded to another team. Hadusha says, I got Oway pricing himself out of Baltimore. Let's say he does show up. If he shows up this year and has anywhere near 9.5 sacks, we got a problem on our hands. Because that's going to trigger a deal that maybe we cannot afford. Of course, Eric DeCosta is sitting here like, leave, bye. I don't care. Hey, what's up? What are we getting on the draft picks? Okay, I'll see you, Oway. I'll see you. Gerald says, I agree with you, Jermaine. I appreciate you. Okay, so other needs. So I was just like looking at the depth chart. I'm like, oh my gosh. So like I said, number 1 is outside linebacker. Number 2 is our depth at corner. Number 3, can y'all tell me with confidence, say it with your chest now, who is the starting left and right guard of the Baltimore Ravens? Can you say it confidently that you have faith in the left or right guard right now of the Baltimore Ravens? That is a huge question mark when it comes to our offensive line. We have a spectacular quarterback, but he cannot throw it if a helmet is in his chest because the pocket has caved and we can't get out of the backfield to the ground game. We can't get Henry going. if our left and right guards can't handle their assignments, if they can't block at the first and second level, we have got to figure out what we're going to do. And I do like this idea here. Delicious says, he says, dream scenario for corner is to trade for Jair Alexander. Yes, it is a dream. It's a dream, but I ain't seeing no reality right now. Things are looking grim. I'm looking at other needs on this depth chart that are outside of even that. So, like I said, we're going back through again. Outside linebacker, cornerback. Who the heck's our daggone guards? Number 4, tackle depth. We mentioned that. Number 5, what is going on at edge? So I can say edge is a significant need. I think if we took a shot at it first round, I'm cool with that because they can help out now. All these positions can help out now, the ones I'm pointing out. And then finally, at safety, that's a position that we can fill with Bo Braid, that we can fill with Sonisu Kane. Those guys can use that opportunity to be that third safety on the field, get those reps in, and then we could draft something later rounds. But I'm talking for that first and second round, these picks are critical to how we are going to reload and get back for the Super Bowl. Gerald says, Ronnie Stanley still worries me. You know what I ain't worried about? Kam Ru getting to the stage. Here he is, folks.
My bad, man. Had to handle some billiard.
Hey, what's good, man?
Business, brother. My bad. I couldn't listen in. I had to make sure I was being attentive.
Yeah, you good? You good? All right, so we was talking about the needs, man. We was talking about all these different needs. That's the reason why we can't go after this fancy, nice BMW of Malachi Starks. We got to stick. We got to figure out what's going on with the rest of this car here before we go trade it in and try to get Malachi.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. And y'all, what up, everybody? And y'all may not agree with me, or you can call me a homer. Maybe you can't really call me a homer, but other than I guess because of the SEC pedigree, other than Malachi Starks and I guess my man, what's my man name from South Carolina, Ure? I'm pronouncing his name all wrong.
Imanori?
Is it Imanori?
Yeah, Imanori, I think.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no real separation in these safeties, bro. And I know a lot of people got like a they don't have a true draft grade on Shallow, but I'd rather take my chances on getting him later in the rounds. And the reason I would say that is because one, you've been coached by professionals all your life. Somebody that actually knows the game. And if you're telling me everybody's tape looks better than his, I watch college ball. I really don't see anybody that played better than him. Like that's just like just standing out. Like I think he would have did the same thing if he was at a different school. You know what I mean? But you got the opportunity to learn from, if not the greatest corner, one of the greats. And then on top of that, you know, all the coaches there, even the guy that was training, that's been training with him thus far, has trained Ed Reed, has trained a couple other Hall of Famers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That he's working with at this very particular time. So it's like I really, I like a lot of the safeties, but I don't think there's I think there's a cloud over his head because he's a Sanders, and they don't really like Deion Sanders in the media for some reason. I don't know why. A lot of hate because he's it's called quote unquote arrogant, but he's not arrogant.
He's got a certain level of college. It's like
confident.
He's got a certain level of
black man to being confident, because when you're black and you're confident, you're arrogant. You see what I'm saying? Sorry, I cut you off, brother. You understand what I'm saying?
It's like certain types of beer. You know, not everybody's gonna be down with the light beer. You know, some people gonna like the dark beer. Some people gonna like the amber box. Some people like the non brands and the homemade stuff.
No.
You know? You know, they
You got the
they like
spike
some
field.
people like just making yeast in the garage and letting it
Right.
sit and try to sip on that. I mean, it's madness.
But I just think like you can't don't knock the man. But you try to like I'm just use Shador for an example. Don't knock them. Don't knock the you knocking the kid because of his father because you don't like his father. But I can't understand why y'all don't like him. He's always been an entertainer. He's always been a God fearing man. He's never done anything ignorant. He's never said anything bad about anybody. He's always like always try to put people in a good help people in
Mhm.
and out. On the field or off the field. It doesn't matter. Like, but you find like Shador. I'm just using Shador for example because I'm just saying that's why they knocking shallow. Shador, I like Kam Ru, but there's be honest with you, there's really no difference. You just went to a bigger school. I don't think it's a big difference. You both got the same. Is he a little bit more athletic? Yeah, but
I'd say yeah. The difference for me is that Shadir under a blitz, this man he definitely doesn't perform as well
oh
under a blitz. Shadir.
yeah, but they're
When it
also
comes to the zone, the dude can pick his zone apart, no problem. But when it
no,
comes
no,
to the blitz,
no, under a blitz, they didn't have to blitz. Their offensive line was trash.
yeah.
He hadn't had a good offensive line since since he was at Jackson State.
But you could see
Colorado's,
the way he threw
Colorado's
against the
offensive line
zone.
was
It was
trash.
beautiful. It
Huh?
was like it was a thing of beauty watching Shadir be able to sit back and play against his
Yeah,
zone.
I'm just being honest. The offensive line is trash. You gotta build that up. Now, if he was at University of Miami, it's not a Power Five school. I mean, it's a Power Five school, but Colorado's been like they'll be better this year. With me saying that is that if you got a kid that's not that's been studying under Tom Brady since he was in high school and been to every program and has won at every level. And I'm not knocking Cam because his journey in general is amazing. So I don't want it to be like I'm picking Shador up to knock down Cam. I'm not trying to knock down Cam.
I mean, I gotta
Son, you
applaud.
live
I gotta applaud Dion
right.
because he's taking players, and right now, I mean, to go from being a school that normally isn't recognized for
Mm,
much. I mean, Jimmy Smith was probably the best thing to happen to them
mm,
in years, and
right,
then to go to having not one but two possible top 10 picks.
mm,
That's significant, So that is where I applaud Dion. I also applaud. I don't know if you watched on Instagram or whatever the other day. He allowed this young man to get up on stage and practice a business pitch to his entire team.
mm.
Because he was trying to explain, like, hey, I'm not just trying to develop you football wise. I'm trying to
Yeah,
prepare you
yeah.
for life.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
So
Yes.
I was like, wow, okay. Like I said, Dion is just one of those beers you got to. It's an acquired taste
But
at times. There are times when I'm like, Dion, come on, bro. And then other times I'm like, yeah, all right,
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you're not gonna agree with everybody. You're not gonna
yeah.
agree with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about as far as like him
Listen,
is
he like Shadir over Cam. Okay, he's with you.
his line was trash, bro. But you live in Colorado. I mean, you in Nebraska.
Yeah.
You've seen the Colorado defense, offensive line, boo boo.
Oh yeah. Nebraska got through on him, man. They got him.
Oh,
That first
they,
year,
they their
we
line
looked like
looks
boo-boo against them.
massive compared to their offensive line, but I'm sure their offensive line will get better because they had like a lot of freshmen. It
Mhm.
takes time, but
All
it's
right.
just that I didn't mean to go all the way off the rails. My
You
whole
good.
my whole point of saying is that I think Shallow is just as good as the rest of those safeties that's in this class. So I think we can wait on the safety. I would prefer for us to go D line. I
Mhm.
know this is a deep defensive line class, but I want to get somebody that could be a pass rusher, not just a run stopper.
Okay.
I would my pick would be D line unless there's like a phenomenal edge rusher there. What's wrong with the light?
Sorry, my
It's
my circle light was just tripping. I
like
was just like,
I
all
see
right,
the
why
light
is it
going on.
coming
What's
down?
going on? somebody back there in production messing up.
Yeah, my ring light was jacked, so I had to go ahead and hit it with the arm.
Or honestly, if Josh Simmons is there, the offensive tackle,
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you take him? You can slide him right into left guard. Now you got your future left tackle. So it's one of the two for me. And those are those. Now, if they go someplace else, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. I love them.
Oh yeah, it's like I can't throw the team in the trash because we went and got the guy or got a different guy. I think Eric Costa does and his team does a great study of these players, and their board of strength is going to look different than everybody else's board, minus the Patriots because they be over here just like peeking over the wall and see something we like and they snatch it. But they, it is a significant difference in our draft and other teams' drafts because there's, people sit here and try to clown and say, "Oh, well, we hadn't hit this, that, and the other." We find these diamonds in the rough, and it's great to see them shine. While you see names on the board,
right?
But then you see that together as a collective unit, this team is making playoff games. While some of these other players who were these extreme, highly tutored players not going anywhere with their team. We're fitting pieces into the whole. We're not celebrating one particular player.
Right.
And that's one thing I love about the Ravens is it is a team effort, and that team is being built from built to continue on to get to the promised land. All right, let's go with so players that I was thinking that should they happen to slide to us, because let's just be honest, when it comes to the draft, like I said, everybody's board looks different, but also teams just make really dumb reaches and really bad decisions. They think, oh, okay, well, since there's a run on centers, I'm going to reach and pick the next available center on the board instead of or next best available center when there's other best available positions. And so that causes the slide. So when we're looking at these top 100 players or top 100 prospects, you may see a 13th overall or 14th overall player on the board slide down into the 20s, which causes Eric DeCosta to say what now? And as it continues to slide, great things happen, and then we may get a player that may have been a top 20 player. And one of those guys that I'm really hoping that nobody watched the tape on this guy, but people watch tape on this guy, but he's significant. He's just a mauler. I looked at the tape on him. I'm just like, every single time the ball would snap, he was looking for work. He's got great vision, great awareness, 6'5", 315 pounds. Just looking to lay the wood on somebody every single snap. He sets edges. He kicks. He swings. He pulls. He's got an anchor on him. I'm going to put him out there. Here you go.
I'm listening. Hold on now.
That's what I'm talking about right here. This guy.
Put it right there. Hold on.
This guy, Kelvin Banks Jr. 6'5", 315, only allowed one sack in 2024.
What's his grade? They got him graded as a first round. I don't think they got him graded going in the first round.
They got him graded. The 49ers are looking at him big time right now. If you look on Twitter, everybody on the 49ers, every 49ers fan, every media pundit is saying that this guy may go to 49. But if he doesn't and he continues to slide, that'd be great, because this guy, the brother catches bullets with his teeth. No, I'm kidding. But he is significant, man. Like I said, we need a tackle of the future. And when Ronnie Stanley decides to hang it up, if he sits under Ronnie Stanley's tutelage, this guy could be such a significant player for the Baltimore Ravens. Like I said, he can come in, play swing tackle, because you can see him play that in college. He's coming around. I mean, just imagine 315 pounds, moving fast, ready to go into somebody with full momentum. He is on it. Like I said, I looked at his tape and all that. I'm like looking at him, like, damn. I was like, he's constantly looking for work. He's got consistent feet. He's constantly blocking at the first and second level. Like, you just see him just mowing cats down. he ain't looking to just like we was looking at. You look at what's his name?
You want to say, brother? Sorry. Speak
The,
on.
the, the, the pain in the butt of everybody for the season. You know what I'm talking about. The daggone guy. I got his name out of my mind, and it's been out for a while. But you know what? It's on the continuum of hate. Just pull that up right quick. Fele. Sorry, had a brain fart. But when it comes to Fele, you get frustrated because this dude is so big, but he ain't out there looking for work. And I know it's talking about 2 7 positions, but at the same time, you can see on film who's finding work, who's getting sticky, and who's getting lost in the sauce and trying to move and push people around with just their hands and not using their feet. This guy uses hands and feet, and it's special. It's special to watch Kelvin Banks Jr. I can't wait to see some of these teams make dumb mistakes and let them slide. Slide on down 27. Come on down to Russell Street. Anyway, if we cannot get Kelvin Banks Jr. at 6'5", 315, I think we should go with Ariante Ursi out of Minnesota. Can't teach size, folks. You can't teach size. This guy is 6'6", 331 pounds. He was a 3-year starter at tackle. And some people are saying he's more of a right tackle versus a left tackle. But, I mean, if you got 13 starts at left tackle in 2023 and 12 in 2024 as a left tackle, guess what? You got experience at left tackle. They said he has recovery issues. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I feel like if this guy's on the board, there's a reason that we wouldn't take starts. If there was something of significant value and fits the need that helps this team load up for this year and the future, then this is where we need to go. Another person I thought, like, hey, this guy could help us out a bit. Let's see. So here's one. This is one that's probably not going to go first round, but for some reason it came across my radar, and I thought y'all should go ahead and take a look as well. His name is Princely Umanmielen out of Ole Miss. So here's a guy he's been selected twice for all SEC honors. Some people say he's got bad character. I mean, he wants to fight a couple cats after the game. But it was his old rival. People are gonna get emotional. If you take an L to your old rival and people talking trash to you on the sideline, part of the competitor in you wants to throw down. Now, whether you answer the call that's going on top of your shoulder right there, that's two different things. But at the same time, I appreciate the passion behind this cat. And that's not necessarily a bad character thing. He had made a mistake. It's not a trend. That's just one chapter in this guy's book. It's one page in this guy's book. And I think he is going to make teams pay for that because of the fact that he has got a significant amount of talent. This guy ran a 4.72 40. He began over at Florida in 2020 and then transferred. But when he was in Florida, this guy had 7 sacks in 2023. And then he transferred to Ole Miss. And then he picked up there and did even more. Got 10.5 sacks in 2024. This is a good 3-4 outside linebacker.
Hey, talking my language there, playboy.
Yeah. So, he's a good 3-4 outside linebacker. He's got good bend. He's got great spins, versatile pass rush portfolio. Like, when I say versatile pass rush portfolio, I'm talking about a guy who's got more than just push, because you have to have more than just be able to power into left tackles and right tackles at this next level. If you don't have the bend, if you don't have the spin, if you don't have abilities to make sure they don't have their hands on you, you get a couple of moves in before and to throw those legs off of the tackles so that they can't get stuck on you, then it might be a problem. But his comfort zone's at wide 9. Like I said, his pass rush win rate is better than the college rates of, I'm about to mention 3 people y'all definitely recognize. His pass rush win rate percentage is higher than the rates of Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson. And I might know this guy too. You know, he's probably might be up for a contract. Odafe. Now, of course, I said Odafe with like emphasis as if he was better than Myles Garrett. But no, the first two names is what I want y'all to focus on. Myles Garrett and Aiden Hutchinson. If he's got a better pass rush win percentage rate than these guys, that should tell you that this guy is something special. And this could be a second round prospect for the Ravens. This may be one of those, everybody might think it's a dumpster dive, but this is something special. And because somebody has put the tag on him to say he had bad character, you know, and I get that there were other players out there that were tagged with bad character. Vontaze Burfict is one of those. I thought Vontaze should have been given an opportunity and maybe a good mentor, and he would have been special for the Ravens. But he comes over and the Cincinnati Bengals give him a chance, and he ended up being special for them. You know, he was a significant tackler, leader of that middle of that defense. But he had attitude issues. We saw that. We saw that. And they said that in college, and it came to be true. But if you give a guy a chance and a good mentor, somebody who's going to keep him out of trouble during the offseason and make sure he knows how to meditate and keep his cool during these games so he can still turn up. That's what's going to help these young men out. Don't just sit here and say, nah, he's trash. I'm going to throw him in the trash just because he had one fight, or it says one attempt to fight after an emotional loss to the Gators. That's an attempt to fight. That's me saying, I'm going to beat you. We going to fight. We going to do this. I'm going to jump up in these stands for a second. That's not a fight. What we saw with the NBA when the players was fighting, that's a fight. When you see your fans getting knocked out, that's a fight. Somebody attempting, saying, hold me, but don't hold me back, don't hold me back. Come on. That's not a fight. That's somebody who just has a competitive personality and is sick of fans talking trash in his ear, saying he traded on them and left them. And that's what he gets for losing. Of course he's going to be mad. I'll be mad. About as mad as somebody watching the TV shows on me without me sitting there with him. It's wrong. Even though I did it. That was the moment of controversy from earlier, man. Anyway. So let's see.
Keep talking, I'm gonna keep eating.
I think you're talking about the other guy. You want to know if Kelvin Banks can play guard at 6'5"? I don't know. I like to say he was putting hat on head, man. He probably could slide in the guard. Who knows? You like Princely round 2 or round 3? I agree. Round 2 or round 3, he could be something of significance. Delicious says they say the same about James Pierce Jr. I hope he does play and pissed off at the edge. I think there was a few everybody was saying most of these players in this draft class, as far as outside linebackers, had character issues. Okay, if everybody got character issues, then who you gonna draft? I ain't never met a nice linebacker. Somebody, hey, nice to meet you. Hey, no, they got a dog in them. You want somebody who's got a dog in them. They can't be AB, but they got to have some type of competitive interior that is like, hey, I'm about to play pissed off. T. Sizzle wasn't a nice guy when he got on that field. T. Sizzle wasn't a nice guy when you mentioned the name Tom Brady. You know what's coming out of his mouth. We want somebody that got a dog in him, got a competitive gene. And if Princely can be that for us, that is fantastic. All right, so that's another one. I think I had one more. And it was... Did I go with this one? Donovan Easy. I'm not going to say the rest of the last name. Like I told you already, these boys got some names, but they got some talent. They got some names, but they got some talent. Donovan Easy, man. I'm finna go with you. I got some stats on him. Put it up. Or did I? It's missing. I swear it. Oh, yeah, I got it. All right, 6'2", Boston College, 248 pounds. This dude was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. I know it looks like potty, but yes, Defensive Player of the Year. 16 and a half sacks in 2024, 30 sacks throughout his collegiate career. He, like I said, another guy with a diverse pass rush portfolio. he keeps the game in front of him is one of the things that I saw. It was like just smart football. As he's going down the line, he's able to, he doesn't give up on the play. This guy plays through the whistle. He's got great bend, good burst around the edge. He knows how to dip that shoulder, get the arm underneath. And he has to be doubled sometimes. When I was looking at his tape, you could see that they were constantly having to chip him with tight ends. They were having to actually have the running back help with the right tackle at times. His gameplay was nice. Like I said, 30 sacks in college. He's a major problem. And another guy that he can play wide nine, but it didn't matter if it was inside or outside, he was getting through. I mean, of course, he was excelling on. They did a lot of stunts from some of the tape I was watching, but it didn't matter. It seemed like he was a man amongst boys. And you got to see, is that going to translate to the next level? But it was just nice to see someone with strength and with the full pass rush portfolio. Didn't matter where he was coming from. He was getting in there. He was coming after that quarterback hardcore. All right, B Cam says Harv's wants nice guys. No, he don't.
No.
Because if he wanted a nice guy, he wouldn't pay Roquan. Because Roquan let his daggone his pads do the talking. He said that many times. Pat Queen was not a nice guy.
No.
Pat Queen would sit there and talk that. He's still talking that talk. Probably still on Twitter right now crying.
Yep.
But on the field, he was dangerous out there. And I know that we feel a certain way about Pat Queen, but the guy was a competitor. And he was constantly jawing. I mean, I'll be honest. I think the nicest guy we got, he let his pads do the talking is Hamilton. Hamilton ain't gonna do a lot of talk, but he gonna hurt somebody out there on that field. He gonna whoop you down on that field. You gonna know his presence because he don't give up on plays and he gonna make hits. Even Marlo talk a lot, especially when he mic'd up. Y'all know that. All right, Delicious says Easy is one of my favorites. And he says, Facts Couch, he's a very smart player. Seems like a Raven to me. Yeah. And I think this guy was one of the smarter ones that I was looking at. I was just like, wow. But it was just watching him in every single, he had, like I said, it was just multiple portfolio of moves.
Let me back in the room, brother.
My bad, brother. But yeah, I gotta put myself back in. All right, here we go. Says you're not in. I think I gotta put Mia down like this. Okay, exit the solo.
I got you clean some chicken. You
gotta put on the menu. Oh my goodness.
So Mark.
So those are the three that I had.
So Couch.
What's up?
Heard you whip.
Huh?
Reverse that.
Reverse what?
Bang, 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 bang.
What are you talking about?
I can't curse on here. Let's know what I'm talking about. I'll do a boomerang.
Oh, okay.
So Marcus, heard you whip. Reverse that. Bang, 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 bang.
He got you.
You don't know what I'm talking about, Delicious. You ain't never seen no boomerang.
I've seen boomerang. It's been a long time, man. There's only certain things you can watch in the house with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Can't see Eddie Murphy over here looking at these girls' feet after he messed them and stuff. That was when Halle Berry was so young.
With her parents. In my bathroom. All right.
Mom.
Nah, they're in my bathroom, man. What they doing? I'm in my bathroom, man.
Lord.
Oh, what's with dessert? That was dead. Oh, I'm dead.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So the last one that I was thinking, like, okay, well, there's two of them. So I just, Tyler Booker. I think we mentioned this on the show before. The tape speaks for itself on Tyler. Another guy that tape speaks for itself, but it was just like I had to go back and watch, and I was like, this. I really hope this is another one that slides to us. Like teams are going to be significantly better this year because these guys are not like you see a lot of boom or bust. These are booms. A lot of these guys in this first round are booms on this defensive side of the ball. James Pierce is a boom.
Everybody, well, like the first 3 rounds, they said almost everybody even. Like, you get them, just pick of the litter, especially on the D line.
Mm-hmm. Tyler Booker would be a great pick round 1. I would love Tyler Booker. That's a plug and play starter. We can go ahead and sit for LA. Tell him go sit down.
We
At
play
least that
left
would be the
guard.
dream, huh?
Play left guard.
He plays left guard.
Yeah, he a left guard. He was a
Yeah.
left guard at Bama.
We will figure it out. We're gonna figure out a way to get Tyler on that bench there. Or not Tyler, but probably get Fele to go have a seat. You know,
Fele out of there.
yeah. So all we got to do is collectively get our PSL owners together and say we're gonna write a letter. And we're gonna tell them to tell John Harbaugh to take Fele, big for nothing but, and put him in the basement where he put everybody else in. Let Ben Cleveland out. He let Ben Cleveland out the basement. But Ben Cleveland should be on the right, and then we go ahead and put Booker on the left.
Watch this. We talked about this. Watch Cleveland start this year, excuse me. So we can just get a comp pick for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah.
That'd be cool. I'll take it. Because Cleveland actually goes out there and looks for work.
He gonna ball.
He's great in the run game. I love watching Cleveland in the run game.
At some point in time, you got to start paying your guards, brother. Like, come on, man. We got to start paying the line.
It's just when you see these guys that, that Eric DeCosta was thinking about not signing back, and then all of a sudden they go sign $30 million contracts, and you're like, oh, I see why he didn't, because they went and chased huge dollars. It's hard to get that type of money in here.
Yeah.
I can see why he's not signing them back. Like, when Bozeman? They went over to Denver and he signed that big deal.
Ben Powers.
Ben Powers, yeah.
He was decent.
And then Bozeman went to Carolina there, right?
Yeah, but he wouldn't sign him at center. He wanted to stay at center.
Yeah.
He saw it. I think the writing was already on the wall, man, because I saw his interview. He was sad. He wanted to stay.
Yeah.
He didn't want to leave Baltimore. He wanted to stay.
And it's like all the guys that we let go, that was $36 million against the cap this year. Total for those guys. One of them is trash, and he's getting paid $12.5 million a year. I mean, come on. Another guard gets paid $12 million a year. We didn't have it. We ain't got it. I'm sorry. We could have found it.
We could have found it. You could have found it. You're gonna have to find it next year.
Yeah. It just sometimes you got to look at, all right, who are we preserving? How much are we kicking down the road? I think DeCosta's getting a little bit more comfortable with these void years on these contracts and being able to push a little bit further down the road. But he knows that some of that's going to catch up. That credit card payment's going to come due eventually.
That's why he's trying to pay it off slowly.
Yeah. That's why Henry doesn't have a contract right now, because they're trying to see what that looks like down the road for us.
Check it out. Notice he only did it he did it 1 year with Odell. He didn't do it this season. Now he's doing it next season. Yeah. Maybe he ain't gonna do it the following season. Like he doing on and off. So they can catch up on the void years. You know what he does.
So he's still cap smart, and that's the thing we got to look at DeCosta is he's making cap smart, sound decisions. He can't go out there and blow the bank on somebody that, is going to take up a significant chunk of the change and guaranteed money on a 1-year deal. And so he's trying to get these guys on multi-year deals. That's probably why we haven't traded for Jair Alexander, because Jair is probably like, hey, I didn't get a chance to prove myself on my first contract fully to get that deal I'm looking for. I need to be able to prove that in Baltimore, but you guys need to pay me for 1 year. And Eric just like, no, we trying to lock you up for multi. He's like, well, if you outplay it, then cool, but you still gonna be paying. You gonna be playing for what we pay you. And that causes the problem. That was so okay. Going back to James Pierce though, this cat, at Tennessee. So I had to I looked up and down that line of Tennessee, and it was just, you could see this from the snap. The whole line was winning. The whole line. I was like, what is going on? They were winning with 4 guys up front, like how it was in the Super Bowl. You could see that against most teams when it came to Tennessee. But it looks like he's playing basketball out there. And when I say that, he is juking guys before they even think about getting a hand on them, putting moves on them, plays to the whistle. He don't get stuck on blocks long. He's able to fight through these blocks. He don't, like most people get stuck and they can't move off a tackle. Like players, when they were going against Kelvin Banks Jr., Kelvin would sit there and wait for them to try to put a dip on him. He would just drop his entire body weight on him and just lay on him. or he would, once he got stuck on him, he was pushing them 5 and 6 yards backwards or to the left or to the sideline, like ushering them like they was going into a magical theater for a show or something. He's like, I got you, but your seat is over here. It was that bad of how he was embarrassing these guys. Pierce didn't give you a chance to get your hands on him.
Hold on. Go ahead. He don't.
Yeah, he never gave you a chance to get your hands on him. It was just that obvious. Whoop. It's just that obvious that he was on you. He had good vision, really good vision, and he benefited from beasts that were all the way over the line. So I think him coming to Baltimore, having that mentality of, hey, we all gonna eat, so let's just go ahead and get it in. And Delicious says James Pierce is going to make a lot of games look crazy passing on him. Yeah, he's going to be frustrating so many players. I mean, the other two guys, Jalen Walker, of course, Georgia. You know, I think with our Todd Monken sitting here having a Georgia guy there, I think that would be a good pickup. Jalen Walker, and then Michael Williams, another edge, 6'5", 260. Smart versus the run. He's got crazy block sheds. I liked him. And then I think those are the other ones I looked at today. Kenneth Grant, I was going to take a look at, but I want to take a look. Delicious, you gave me a different one. It was like Xavier Watts. So I appreciate that. I'm going to go take a look at him later on. It's a GM's catch. GM. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. He said, Chad, he's going to make a lot of GMs look crazy. Oh, okay. You were saying GMs as in general managers look crazy passing. I thought you were talking about a lot of the games look crazy. Okay, so yes, anybody that passes on James Pierce, and if he slides to the Ravens, then that is it. That I think that's going to be the pick. Don't get me wrong, I like Starks. I really do. I just don't think he's the right fit at 27, being that there are 6 significant needs ahead of safety on board. And even ChatGPT kind of agreed with me on this. I was like, all right, give me some reasons as to why or why not. And when it came to the whys, excuse me, the why nots, they were like, why are you duplicating production? And they said, Kyle Hamilton is Malachi Starks. Why bring in the same guy? Because they can both play in the slot. They can both be back on the back end as well, make plays. Now they're interchangeable. I can see that. I do like that part. But I'm still looking for that corner on the outside. But to go back and review, we got 6 different positions of need before safety. It's outside linebacker, corner, defensive tackle, guard, nose tackle, right. Was it what else? Outside linebackers. Okay. Yeah. So it was outside linebacker, cornerback, guard, tackle, nose tackle or defensive tackle, and then you got safety. So yes, 5 positions. Sorry, 5 positions ahead. But that's all I have for today's show. I don't know where Brooke is.
She ain't here.
She didn't make it tonight. That's sad. Maybe she sent a message. Let's see if she even checked in. Does she even care at all? She did not. She didn't check in on Facebook. Nothing. All right. I need y'all to jump on the We Are the Ravens Flock page and just boo Brooke. Let her know we love her and we miss her. All right. Any final thoughts before we close the show out, man?
Huh?
Is there any final thoughts before we close this thing out?
Let me in the room, man.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a good thought there.
Talking from the outside. Talking from outside the daggone door. Let me in the room, man.
So I put you in the room by yourself. Hold on, let me see. Sometimes I forget how that thing works. So just
So
wait. We do have some
just pick 3. Pick 3. If we go in first round, what would you want us to get first round?
First round position or player?
You ain't gotta say the player. We ain't gotta go that deep like we did before.
Okay, first round.
This position.
Corner, outside linebacker, and
look, hold on. Look who just popped.
Wow.
Horrible.
You just pop in with 2 minutes left on the show just to hit the clock. That's all you do. That's all we are now. It's just a clock to you. Clock in, clock out, Brooke.
Just put the clock up, bro. That's all. Horrible.
So Brooke's hiding in the shadows. Oh yeah. We love you, bro.
What were you gonna say? Love you, bro. What were you gonna say?
All right, so if we're talking three positions, guard for some reason doesn't look like it's going to be heavily in that first round. So I think we're probably got no choice but to slide on guard if Booker's not there. I think we got to sit. We got to wait until the second round, maybe even the third round on a guard because of availability and the if we're looking at how the chart is laid out. I'm just not seeing it. So I'd say I'm not in any order. Outside linebacker, tackle.
No, I want your order.
Corner. You want a priority
For you.
for me? So if I'm there, if I'm Ozzy, or if I'm Eric,
Just three.
corner.
That's your. So you wanted to get another first round corner?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want something for the future, but that can also help us right now. So corner, outside linebacker, and tackle.
Offensive tackle.
Yeah, offensive tackle. If I can get one of those three, I'm gonna be happy either way. But I if one of those three comes sliding across on the board that is at the right spot for the right price, I'm all for it. What about you?
I'm gonna say defensive tackle, O line. I'd rather be a tackle than a guard, to be honest with you. I always think that we find better gems at guard in third round, like you said. And it's not that many good tackles out there this 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 draft. So if a tackle slot, we better take him. And the next after that, honestly, would I guess would be corner. I don't really want. In my opinion, I really don't want us to take another corner. Not that early. I know we're going to take another corner. Only reason I'm saying is because I think we got a steal when we got TJ Tampa. He just hasn't. I just got to see because if he was in the top 10 last year. Only reason he slid because he had a bad hamstring when he ran his 40. So if he'd have ran a good 40, we probably wouldn't have got him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
so here's a.
So
this is something I've been having this on my mind for a bit. The possible trades. I think if certain guys are not there when we are, and it has to be every significant guy that I have mentioned. If
Edge,
they are not there.
Sorry, cut you off. In edge. So it would be my it would be defensive tackle, offensive lineman, edge for me.
Okay.
For me, in my opinion, like I think that
defensive tackle, offensive lineman, and edge.
We thin at deep. That's the only position we thin at right now. So, and this is Brody's last season on his contract. So we real thin at the defensive tackle spot. And then on top of that, this is Travis's last season. So we got to sign somebody.
I think there's going to be some movement. I think if certain things hit the 20s, there's going to be some movement. And I think this is probably going to be one of the first years you see that Eric DeCosta actually moves up because we got 4 6-round picks.
Yeah,
I think he's going to snowball some of that.
7. We bring 7 to the crib. That's good enough. I don't need that.
We don't need all the rest of those because you saw how we had to trade out Wade and Denzel. We had to trade him. We had to get rid of him.
It was a waste of time
because we couldn't sign everybody.
That was really his first real draft anyway. So that he
was treating picks like lottery picks, but sometimes you got to snowball those into a great pick.
Hopefully that's what he's thinking is going to happen because you got enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, defensive tackle, offensive line. I just want to build from the trenches. And everybody keep talking about how the edge rushers got off in the Super Bowl, but nobody talking about how Jalen Carter was the reason why they got off. We only talking about how the whole tackles was the reason that they were able to get off like that. Like they hold up a lot of weight. You know what I mean? If they weren't getting that push in the middle, you could step up. He would have been able to step up in the pocket.
Failure. So we went through it, folks. Honestly, I think it's time for a mock. Like, we need to do a mock, and I know y'all don't like me doing the full rounds of the first round. We might as well do a mock draft of all all 7 rounds for
11
us.
picks?
Yeah. We will mock all of our picks, but not the entire NFL's picks.
No. We're gonna do all 11 picks.
Yeah, we'll do all 11 picks, and we can include trades. So you can have your version, and I can have
I
mine.
didn't do any trades. Just thinking about trying it.
Like, maybe have a stipulation to where we have no trades in the first round or something like that, unless we're trading upward to trade out of the round and collect those ridiculous amount of picks that are on the simulators. It'll be a little wild. I mean, it had to be like a smart, a realistic trade out of the first round. Like, hey, we traded back to pick number 34 and collected up a third and a fifth or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be kind of more realistic.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even gonna do the trades because I ain't never good with them. Because I get too many and then I'll be like, I'm trying to get rid of them, and then if they deny you,
Yeah. All right. So no trades, just simply straight up. What could we do with 11 different picks?
And you know what's funny? If you look at one NFL simulator and the PFF, the grading on the grading system is horrible on some of them, and some of them don't even have all the players that you would be looking for, which is weird. But no, well, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
You good. So yeah, we'll do a mock draft, and like I said, I appreciate y'all. We falling off the couch, continually thanking y'all for the love, and we know that this is a pretty cool crowd right here. I could do this every Monday night. This is one of my favorite places to be. And with that said, I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. This is your Couch Rider Raven saying, hey, I'm so close to retirement. I'm excited.
Congratulations.
And fade to black, y'all. Peace.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens. Couch Rider. Raven. We gon' ride out. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.